Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 7 of my hardcore WoW Classic Challenge. In this challenge, I'm attempting to get all classes from WoW Classic on the Alliance side to level 60, all without dying, and additionally getting max professions for each profession. I've already done 6 out of the 8 classes, or started 6 out of the 8 classes in the first 6 episodes. Here in episode number 7, we're going to start the Druid. Every episode's going to be a new class. We're going to rotate through them. And so the first 8 episodes here has just been getting off the ground. But let's just jump right into it, and I'll explain the rest of the rules as we go. So, Oakshes. Sure. I like that. Oakshes. Alright, so rules of the challenge are if a character dies, I have to delete that character instantly. Just log out, delete. I can't log in for any other reason.
For 10,000 years, the immortal knight.
Rule number 2 is I cannot trade with any players. I cannot use the auction house for any reason. Number 3, I can't group with any other players, and I can't accept help or gifts or help killing mobs from other players. This one's kind of, if someone helps me kill a mob or saves me without me asking them, there's kind of some gray areas there, but I cannot request help or receive multiple, I can't, like, someone tries to do something, I can't take it. Someone tries to help me kill a bunch of mobs, I can't accept it, and if they continue to help me kill mobs, I just need to log out, that kind of thing. I can't willingly accept help from other players. And that's the standard stuff. Other rules are no add-ons for this. That's a big deal for me. I used to be a big, I'm a big user of add-ons in the past, so no add-ons is a pretty big change for me. It also means the second rule, or the next rule in the list, it matters a lot more because I can't look anything up. I can't look up any quests, can't look up anything about like where a recipe might be or anything like that. I can't look up anything. And that's also kind of on our system. You're just going to have to trust that I'm not doing that. And then the last part of the challenge is that I can, between these 8 characters that are on their way to 60, I can trade between them. I can mail stuff between them. And that's going to help me a bit. It's going to give me a bit of a bonus, which would be really nice to have. But if a character dies and they have a bunch of stuff on themselves or in their bank, I can't get it. If they die, they instantly die. I have to delete them and restart that class. So I don't need to get every class to 60 all at once. But if one class dies, I just have to restart that class. So, it's obviously going to be a really difficult challenge. Haven't had any deaths yet in the starting zone, which is great. We started now 7 of the 8. The last one will be a Warlock. And yeah, I'm really excited about this challenge. We're 7 episodes in, and things are just about to get interesting. Once we get done with the starting zones, I think that's when things will finally get interesting here. Okay, I gotta find some Night Sabers. So of the first 7 episodes, or first 6, Night Elf Hunter took the longest, which is not something I would have expected. I think Hunters are pretty fast in the starting zone. So I wonder if that's just the Shadow Glen area. I think maybe Night Elves just have a long starting zone with like lots of long quests or something like that. That might have been it, because it was pretty significant in how much longer it was compared to all the other classes. So we'll see how Druid goes. Maybe Druid will show that that's not the case, and I just was a little slow with Hunter for some reason. Like right here, I mean, you can even see like I'm trying to find a Night Saber to kill, and I'm unable to find one. And the Mushroom quest that we'll be doing a little later, it's also kind of struggled to find those sometimes. So yeah, maybe it's just like their quests just take a little longer to do, right? That could just be the case, right? It's a real struggle to find these Night Sabers. There's one. So yeah, what's this Druid gonna be? Well, Druids are I really like Druids. Druids have been one of my 2 most played classes of all time in all versions of WoW. played a lot of Druid in Classic. It was kind of my main for most of Classic, alongside with Paladin. Those are kind of the two that I kind of went back and forth on. So I know Druid quite well in Classic. And I like them a lot. Obviously, they are very versatile. You got your self-healing. You have different forms that give different benefits. You have good mobility and good travel speed early on. And you know, that kind of stuff. So that's the good thing about Druid is you got lots of versatility. They're a bit vulnerable before level 10, before they get bear form. But after that, that's a pretty big power spike. And then cat form's also good. Although for hardcore, you know, maybe I'll just be in bear form more often to make sure I don't die, or at least be. Although cat form's good because cat form you really are single target damaging things down, you know, anyway. So you're pretty safe, right? You don't want to be attacking multiple things in cat form anyway. So because they're just all single target damage pretty much. So that for that reason, it might be just cat form's just fine. You know, there's no risk really there. But yeah, I think we should go on the hunter. We didn't go to the trainer right away because there wasn't anything useful for us at level 2. But I'm pretty sure at level 2 we might get Gift of the Wild, which I don't think actually helps at level 2, but. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, level 2 we just get Gift of the Wild. Do we get Moonfire? Tough one, tough question. Can't remember exactly. Yeah, worth heading up there. Yeah, the Druid is in the tree. Like, they're way up there, yeah, they're not down in here. Some are in there. Selling some stuff, sell the food, not the water. Could buy an extra water just because yeah, I'm gonna do that because drinking but the early stages, like, wrath's your only ability, and you know, that could be a bit of a bottleneck in your leveling speed. So I'll get some water so I can move a little faster here. So yeah, Druid, I will definitely be leveling as Feral because leveling as pretty much anything else is kind of well, not impossible, but not very safe and quite dangerous. And yeah, risky and slower. Like, there's nothing good about leveling as another spec other than just like it's a bit of change of pace, right? So I'll be leveling as a Feral Druid probably almost certainly. But I might go slightly different things than I normally would for more survivability. In terms of professions, I think this is going to be my alchemist, which is typical for me anyway for druids. I like to make my druids alchemists. I don't know, just feels thematically nice and good and stuff like that. So that's probably what we'll end up going with. So that's pretty straightforward. Yeah, like there's not much, like there's not going to be much, you know, to talk about in terms of what this druid is going to be doing. So yeah. Yeah, what can I talk about this episode? So yeah, you might have noticed that I'm talking as if I've uploaded every day, but I've recently, the day of recording this, I've decided to move all my videos to a new channel for algorithm reasons and just kind of personal reasons. Just kind of using a brand new channel, fresh channel for these videos. So they're all like the first 6 or 7 are all gonna look like they've uploaded the same day, but they've all happened about a day apart, roughly speaking. So that's kind of the first chunk of episodes are all gonna look like they've uploaded on the same day, even though they have, but they weren't recorded on the same day and uploaded on the same day originally. But I'm kind of migrating channels to a new channel, which should just for my own kind of archival use, just have a fresh channel, new channel for this particular thing, and maybe we'll see what happens after. But that's kind of what I've what I've done here. And yeah, and I've kind of have a good plan set up for the future episodes, and we'll see how it goes, because every 8 days or so, episode will go out for each character, right? So there'll be a rotating episodes for each character, and so that will mean, and Rested XP caps out at around 10 days of not logging into a character if they're in and in. So that means most of the time the characters will be very close to, if not fully rested, which will help a lot with leveling speed. But it'll also give me kind of something to benchmark. I might try and see how this works out. I think this will work out nicely earlier on, and it might be more difficult later on. But early on, what I can do is to kind of cap episodes. I will stop an episode as close to not being rested as I can. That feel like gives a good stopping point. So that's kind of what I'm thinking in my head, is that, like, you know, logging on, you know, to a character, they're almost fully rested or fully rested, and an episode will be as long as it takes me to get fully rested, unless that ends up taking way longer than I think. Early levels, like especially like level 6, like I think you can get through your full rested XP, because it's a level and a half of rested XP, so it's a level and a half of killing things, which I think that happens. I think you get through that really fast at early levels. Later levels, not as much, but early levels I think you get through pretty fast. So it might even be too fast early on, but I'm thinking about increasing the length of episodes a little bit, because there's a lot of content to get through, and so increasing the amount of length of episodes, I think is probably a good thing. But we'll see how that goes. I'll be filming the first post starting zone video pretty soon here, and so I'll see how that goes in that for that situation. And it could be that getting out of rested XP is too short of a time, or it could be maybe it's too long, and that'll probably change over time. So it's not like even if it ends up being a workable thing to start, it probably will not stay that way for long. But I think that's a nice way to start with the second episode for each character. I think that sounds pretty good to me. But yeah, just even thinking about things like that, like it's obvious to me that this challenge is just going to be super long, and is really just going to be, it's not really a great design for like a YouTube series that you expect someone to watch every episode of. So what I also could do, I'm gonna definitely still continue uploading all the action and everything, but what I might end up doing one day is like doing like a condensed kind of recap of each character, or each, you know, the cool moments, or like the highlights and stuff like that. Maybe like once a week I release a single episode that kind of has the highlights of each episode, that kind of thing. It's for people who want to follow along but don't have the time or inclination to watch, you know, several hours of someone playing WoW Classic and doing nothing really but kind of mindless grinding, you know, for that long. I mean, that just, I really don't expect anyone to really watch all these videos. Like, it just kind of, it's for my own personal kind of project that I'm doing, and I'm uploading them to you know, in case someone wants to, or just kind of for my own kind of records and stuff like that. It's a good way to keep myself going on the project, and also at the same time, if it ends up that people enjoy or are interested at least in the journey of this challenge, then people have the opportunity to at least watch how much of it they want, right? You know, like I think releasing like updated update videos or something like that for this kind of thing probably will end up being a really good idea, because a lot of this content is just going to be really boring. I mean, that's just kind of the nature of classic WoW, but and I definitely do want to upload as much of the time being online as possible, but you know, realistically, how much of that are people ever going to watch or want to watch? So let me know what you guys think of that idea. I'll probably end up doing it, even if I don't hear any feedback about that. I'll probably start doing that kind of sometime soon. I'm not sure. It means I'm actually gonna have to do some editing work, which will take up a bit extra time. And it's not something I have too much experience with, but how hard could it be to just splice some videos together? Probably not super difficult. So yeah, that is something I will look into doing. Yeah, druids definitely are not the fastest levelers post or pre-10. Post 10, the bear adds more like sustainability to your fights. You can kind of move from fight to fight a little faster, and you don't have to deal with mana as much, that kind of thing. But it doesn't actually improve your leveling speed like significantly either. Druids are kind of just, well, I wouldn't say they're slow levels. I don't think so at all, because but they're not, I would say they're particularly fast levelers. The main thing that makes them not slow is that they have extra movement speed from cat form and travel form, which helps a lot. And also they do have pretty good interfight sustain, where they fight someone in a either bear or cat form, they pop out of that a little heal on themselves, pop back into the form, and move on to the next fight. So very little downtime. First aid and eating is less required than other classes to sustain yourself between fights. So that and kind of you get into some pretty like comfortable gameplay loops where you're fighting things, you just pop out, heal, fight things, but you do need to be concerned in those situations. You need to make sure you're not getting too lulled into a false sense of security, and then you end up going to a fight with low mana, and forgetting you have low mana because you're in a bear form or something, and you pop out of your form to heal yourself in the middle of the fight because you pulled too many guys, or you underestimated the damage of a mob or something like that, and you realize you have no mana, and then you don't even have mana to move back into a form to run away or to increase survivability. So that means you're in a pretty sticky situation then. So druid definitely, like a lot of the classes, you can definitely get lulled into a false sense of security sometimes by how kind of good the leveling feels at times, right? But like any other class with mana, you can definitely be. Hold on. I should kill myself. Wow, I nearly died to a spider. I was just kind of talking, not really looking at what's going on. Forgot to drink before that fight, and that was a little close. Wasn't really that close. Like I was never really real danger, but it's all good. Just drink up a bit. Let's have a look at what we got in terms of leather vest. Yeah, that's nice. That's good. Okay. Yeah, let's just keep killing these guys. But yeah, I think once we get out of the starting zones for all the classes, get everyone kind of on to professions and kind of get that going, I think episodes will become a lot more interesting to watch and interesting to follow. And honestly, if you're watching this episode and this is like the first episode you're watching, and honestly, I would just pretty much wait to episode 9 to I pretty much I'm gonna recommend people start at episode 9. Because episode 9 is going to be the first out of the starting zone episode on the warrior, and that's going to be the first one of all the classes that's going to be out of the starting zone. And I might just always tell people to not watch these starting zone episodes, because I'm filming them because that just feels correct. It feels weird to start in not in the starting zone when you're doing a 1 to 60 challenge, so you kind of have to, but it's not exactly riveting content, and especially once you've seen it 8 times, you kind of get the idea of what's going on. There's only so many times or so many ways you can make the starting zones of each race interesting in any way. So, like we're about to do Dunmoreau for the 4th time. After I finish this character, keep forgetting to drink between fights. So that'll be really, really again boring. Well, Warlock's kind of fun, and it is what it is. Can't do anything about it. But at this point I've kind of committed to doing it this way and filming all the episodes that way. And so once I got a starting zone though, I think it'll be a lot less interesting. Just 2 more to go. And you know, if I didn't like doing starting zones, I shouldn't have done this challenge. And I do like doing starting zones. I love my characters and I like everything about it. So it's more of just I worried that 8 episodes in a row of this exact same thing over and over again is not the best way to start a YouTube series. But I think if anyone has been watching these the whole time or anything like that, or is started from episode 1 and has got all the way here, you think of it, if that's the case, you are the kind of person that is not too worried about these kinds of things, right? You're happy to, you just kind of want to watch a long form series like this or something like that. I don't know. But ooh, nice crit with the staff. Let's see, out of mana. So yeah, in terms of druid leveling, I'm definitely gonna be prioritizing different stats than I normally would. For a hardcore for a druid leveling, pretty much you want to just stack agility and strength and just kind of become glass cannon. But pretty much every stat has pretty good value to me. Increase my mana pool is just good because even if I'm doing feral, like having more mana to come out of druid form, cat form and bear form with, and be able to cast more spells in that situation is gonna really improve my survivability. Again, like I mentioned back in a previous video, killing things faster is sometimes the best way to survive fights. Sometimes though, having more mana to cast more spells or have more health to stay longer in a fight, stuff like that, sometimes that's what's important. So it's kind of a balance. But with druid, with any classes like druid that kind of technically benefit from all stats kind of in some way, that becomes, it's kind of difficult to say, okay, how much is an intellect worth to a feral druid? Like it's not worth nothing, and it's not worth more than strength or agility, but it's not worth nothing. It's worth something for sure. And so figuring out what that it really is worth to you is kind of the struggle with these things. It becomes kind of the struggle that you have to deal with. I think I'm gonna go hand in a friend in need before I finish this main G Night Saber quest, because I need to come back out here and search for mushrooms and stuff anyway. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna kill on the way. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kill things until I run out of mana, and then run until I get mana back. That's probably the fastest way to do this. Okay. Oh, I messed up here. Yeah, maybe, yeah, we're already 23 minutes in the recording. Yeah, maybe Night Elf Starting Zone is just kind of slow, just the way the quests are laid out and the kind of the times you have to run back and forth to certain areas. That might just be the case, right? Might just be the case that this particular zone is just a little slower, just based on the quests and the layout of them and stuff. Yep, I could see that happening, because I wouldn't expect Druid and Hunter to be the 2 slowest classes, and it's kind of looking like that might be the case here. Although I'm already level 4. Maybe Hunter was just slow for some reason. I don't know. I'm not sure. Hard to say. Okay. Alright, now we gotta get mushrooms. And let's also go... Oh, my inventory's full. Yeah. Let's go sell things right after this as well. And now it's probably a good time to go up the tree as well to do some training with the Druid train. I think I get Moonfire now, which is a decent damaging ability early on, so we'll be getting that.
I am honored.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sell pretty much everything we can. I guess I'll take those back. It's probably worth to have that armor than that 2 copper. You never know. You never know. So theoretically, this is kind of way over, you know, way early to even be considering something like this. But let's say one day I finish this challenge in the far-flung future, or I give up on this challenge or something like that. Something along those lines. I like the idea of maybe doing other challenges in the hardcore WoW Classic space, or you know, only using weapons and no armor to 60, or only using white items to 60, or no health potions to 60, with the same rule set I have, but just not those things. Okay. Moonfire, yes. Mark of the Wild, yes. Rejuvenation, yeah, I'm gonna need that eventually, so it's fine to take it here. Let's get the action bars up and running like I normally do. Spell book. So let's Moonfire there. Let's put our heals up here for now. We'll probably switch that later, although it's not a bad spot for him. Mark of the Wild, yeah, right now it only does armor, so it's pretty useless, but not bad to have. And yeah, this quest there. What quest leads into this? Is it this one that leads into this? Yeah, because this quest isn't available yet. Check, double check. Yeah, it's not. So it must be, I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. It ain't this yet. Hard fall, but no problem there. Mushroom right here. And what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, make sure that the ground clutter is low. It is, so that we can see the mushrooms on the ground, so we can get them. Moonfire plus a new staff that will do a little more damage in melee is going to help us get through these kills a little faster. Alright, Moonfire's good. Moonfire, yeah, it does 7 to 9 immediately, and then 12 over 9 seconds every. I forget what the tick rate is, but so just with, you know, more than one wrath in, you know, in one time. There's a mushroom, worth going to get that real quick before I get the rest of these lilies. Go quickly do that. Kill one more Nightsaber, one more boar as well over here. Yeah, this is the quest that kind of slows you down. It's like kind of, you gotta get 7 mushrooms, and they're actually like kind of can be hard to get, hard to find. Like not really hard to find, like they're everywhere they normally are, but like sometimes they've been taken by someone else, or you just kind of get exactly where to go, and that kind of stuff. So again, no bags yet in this guy, so the bag rate has been quite bad, as I've mentioned in previous videos. That the rate of finding bags on these starting zone characters has been quite poor, so getting my tailor up and running and getting as many bags as I can from them is going to be pretty important for this this playthrough for all these characters. Oh, there's a mushroom. Nice. Oh. Mushroom here, a couple lilies, and then maybe circle around the other side, getting. Oh, the web bag is the last thing to do, I think, right? Yeah, pretty much. Lily. Keep on the lookout for mushrooms. mushrooms here. Oh, there's one. Going over there to get. Another one over there. And then we'll probably find another one somewhere back there. So we'll circle back after these 2 mushrooms and probably find what we need. Yeah, the video for the hunter in Shadow Glen was literally an hour almost, I think. So we're at 30 minutes right now in this recording. So maybe this will be faster. Maybe I just took way too long on the hunter. It's totally possible, I guess. And I do remember me being just kind of like, felt like I wasn't fighting things very well and stuff like that, kind of talking too much about things as I played the hunter. So maybe yeah, maybe my play just was slow and bad. Possible. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need to, I might even just like really, like while I'm fighting stuff, just no talking, like unless I have something important to say, you know, like I might just be doing that, like while I'm, you know, maybe I might even, you know, like talk at the start of an episode, at the end of an episode, but maybe very little talking in the middle. You know, that might end up being the right thing to do, and it also might be a bit more kind of thematic and like feel like, you know, kind of atmospheric, kind of pump up the sounds, pump up the ambiance and the music, and kind of make it more that, and kind of talk at the start and talk at the end for the most part, you know, in between maybe a little bit as I'm kind of explaining, like, if I think something's not obvious what I'm doing, but like talk about my plan for the episode, execute that plan, talk at the end about how it went for the most part, you know. That might, and it also just might help my longevity in this, because I'm actually surprised myself with the amount of things I'm able to talk about during these episodes, and like kind of amount of air I'm able to fill here, talking on all these characters' episodes. But I can't really be expected to do that all the time, especially I can't just be talking about random stuff while I'm fighting things, because I will die. Like I'm already sometimes having these randomly close calls in the starting zones because I'm talking too much and not really focusing on the gameplay. And so once we get to starting zones, I'm going to need to truly actually focus, or else you know, things are going to go quite badly for me, I'd imagine. So we'll go ahead in this antidote quest and get the egg, then Hearth out of the cave, and then I guess the egg quest is the one that sends you up the tree. Must be. Maybe I should kill extra spiders in the cave, because the spiders in the cave probably give the most XP per kill, rather than the thistleborers and stuff out here, which is what I'd be killing to grind XP after the fact. So I'm trying to get to level 6 in the starting zone, right? So we'll about to hit level 5 from handing this quest in, and I'm gonna fight to the end of the cave. We'll see how long that takes, and then fight out of the cave. Maybe I should just Hearth. No, it's best to Hearth out of the cave, I think. I think what I'll do is I'll fight every spider I see. Kind of like from here, I'm gonna straight line towards the cave, fight every spider I come in range of, just to increase the amount of XP that I get. Kind of do that. Oh, I forgot to sell things. Oh, I'm probably gonna run out of space, but oh well. Is what it is. Nothing I can do. Out of mana. It's okay. Get this guy his antidote. Yeah, and I'm gonna try not to worry about my leveling speed too much. It's kind of hard for me not to, but I think, you know, it's definitely important for me not to focus on moving fast, because that'll get me killed too if I'm trying to be efficient in my movement and to kind of doing multiple things at once, that kind of stuff. Like that's what's gonna get me killed. Is trying to move quickly, trying to kill more than one mob at once. You know, trying to push the envelope and that kind of stuff. That's what's gonna get me killed. same time, it's gonna make it more interesting if I have more close calls. But I think I'd rather actually complete the challenge than try to make things interesting. Because yeah, that's sorry. I think it's gonna be already hard enough without trying to make things interesting. You know. Hunter helping me out a bit. That's, you know, appreciated in spirit, but not for the challenge. That's what it is. I wonder if like, what about, actually, you know what? I hadn't even considered. Do I click off buffs then that other people give me? I think I do. I think I should. I don't want to be like an asshole, so like if someone buffs me, I'll buff them, that kind of thing, you know, and then I'll click off their buffs. And then kind of, because I actually hadn't even thought about that. But I think, you know, I don't want to give myself too many crutches. I think if someone buffs me like with fortitude or intellect or something like that, I think it's best. You know, I think I should just click those things off. Trying to snipe my kills away from me, or he's helpful. I'm not sure. Trying to be helpful. Fair enough. I mean, in the starting zone, I'm not going to worry about people helping me out too much. It's not like I am gaining a lot of survivability or speed from that person shooting an arrow to mobs I'm killing. And it looks like they've moved on to whatever else they're doing. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to spend too much time grinding mobs in here because I'm going to run out of water pretty quick and space in my inventory. So I think I'm just going to get back to the cave, get the egg I need, and then get the heck out. Because, yeah, definitely gonna run out of space, definitely gonna run out of water, so it's gonna be pretty slow in here. So what I can do is I can hearth, do all the quests, house sell things, that kind of stuff, get some more water, then see where I'm at in terms of how many mobs I need to kill to get to level 6 before I leave the starting zone. I forgot to put the staff on. Unbelievable. I haven't even been getting that extra DPS. Very silly. Very silly. I really thought I did. Oh well. I bet someone who was watching attentively in this video was probably thinking, what are you doing? You just got that nice staff that's dealing an extra 1 point, oh wait, actually a lot more, like, yeah, 1.2 DPS extra per second, almost doubling your DPS with your melee weapon. Forgot to put it on. You fool, I'm gonna pull 2 mobs. Double Moonfire and staff hitting will do me good here, I think. Double Moonfire ticks. Gotta get over there. Gonna heal and then drink. Yeah, druids just kind of can have the ability definitely to move fast between combats, but like I said, you definitely don't want to necessarily be doing that. That can put you in. You can kind of make yourself feel too, you know, in control there. You know, you just kind of forget that you do have resources that you need to manage, and like fights don't just go perfectly all the time and stuff like that. So. But I'm like I said earlier, I love druids. I really, really do. They're always my go-to class in WoW. Them and paladins. Like, I just love, like, honestly, especially when monk came out later in WoW's life, monk, druid, and paladin were always my top 3 classes. I just love the ability to switch between your, you switch between your roles in a group. You know, you can heal, you can DPS, you can tank. I love being able to do that. I mainly DPS. I mainly tanked and healed. That's mainly what I do when I do group content, because I love to heal or tank. DPS is it's fine. It's kind of boring to me. It's kind of, and healing's kind of also boring to other people, but for me it's not. But I always liked tanking probably the best, and then healing, and then DPS is kind of like. Especially, and that's also why I don't have too much experience with classes that only can DPS, because I always found that to be restrictive, right? Like in what I would be kind of get, if I was starting a new classic realm or something like that, or fresh stuff or whatever, I'd always want my main to be something I could switch roles, you know, between. So I never really would ever choose my main to be like a mage or a hunter or something like that, or a rogue, because I just felt like so constrained by that, the inability to say, oh, actually, you know what, we need a tank, I can tank, yeah, like let's do it. Or we need a healer, yeah, I can heal. Being just a mage, just being like, yep, I make water and I sling spells, and that's all I can do for you. Which, you know, mages are good, and you know those classes are important, and it also would help me kind of focus my energies more, because whenever I level up a hybrid character for like as my main, I'm always like getting all the gear for all the possible roles and hoarding it, and you know, kind of staying on the fence the whole time, you know. And so in that case, it actually is not helpful at all to, because it really kind of divides my energy and divides my focus between all the roles, because I want to be ready for anything. So having a DPS only main or something like that kind of helps me. Like a couple times I have done it in my life, whereas like I, you know, mained like I did main a hunter for Season of Mastery Classic, and that was pretty fun, and it was pretty fun just to be like, yep, I know, like I'm only, like my only possible role is damage, like, so I don't need to worry about like having a healing set and a tanking set and a damage set, just in case, you know, we need something, you know, if something goes different than we expect, or we're like, hey, you need a different role here. It's kind of nice to just be able to say, yep, I'm a damage dealer, and that's all I got to worry about is dealing damage, you know. I mean, also, you know, doing mechanics and stuff, but we just got a hand in the web again, so I'm just gonna quickly sell before that. So how are we doing on lag? Yeah, we're actually, so we're at 41 minutes in the recording. We have this quest to hand in, and then another quest, and then we'll see where we are. We don't think we'll need too much grinding to do, but maybe a little bit. Maybe a little. Should I actually buy water here? That's expensive water. I'm gonna buy just one of these. Some part of me just really loves when that kind of decision matters. It's kind of the mentality I always have for all kinds of gamings. When like I like whenever I play like a card game like Magic the Gathering, which I do a lot, I like limited. I like when resources are strained and stuff like that, and you have like a limited amount of resources to make certain decisions. Same thing with like hardcore WoW. It's gonna be like I'm gonna have very limited resource, limited money, limited, especially early on. So it's gonna be making those decisions about what to do, when to do it, what to use for it, that kind of stuff. That really pleases me, you know, when it comes to games, when that kind of thing. Like some people hate that and just want to get to the end game and just want to do the raids and really wish they could just have infinite gold to buy all the consumables, buy all the gear they need and all that stuff, and really just play the game, or like do the PvP, or like do the raids, or whatever, you know, whatever they want to do. They just want to get there. For me, it's totally the opposite. I like raids fine. I like PvP just fine. I'm fine at them and I like them. But that's not the game for me. The game is leveling up for me. That's what I enjoy the most, and that's what I always come back to whenever I like making new characters. I like doing those kinds of things, and so that's always what the game has been to me personally. Actually, can you do this? Yeah, you can. Cool. That's a way I think I must have done that before in the past sometime. There's no way I haven't gone this way before, but didn't really. Okay, so let's also make sure we're killing things. I think we're gonna need a little bit of extra XP other than this quest, so killing a couple things in between on the way there and back will help us a little bit, and then after we hand it in, we'll see where we're at. Kill a few more things before heading out. Nice crit with the staff, that was good. Philly doesn't get. I've never tried this before. I've never filled that while being attacked. Didn't know. I was uncertain if I'd be interrupted or not. Could have gone either way. Try to be mana efficient as I do this, running back and forth, and just kind of using Moonfire and staff hits as I run, so I don't have to spend too much time or resources using other spells or abilities. just getting a little bit of extra XP, like I said, and just kill like 1 or 2 more things as I run there and back. Because this quest probably give me what, like 3 bars? I'm actually not sure, maybe less. So I might have to do just kill a few more things afterwards. Moonfire spam, kill that guy, good. I'm gonna continue just moonfire spamming all the way home. Come on, stuff it. Excellent. Excuse me. Just had to cough a bit. Mike for that. Spare you that. And all right, let's head up to the tree again. Yeah, I guess the episode just takes a while because we're still 46 minutes in. I kind of moved not as fast as I possibly could if I wasn't talking at all. Really focused on the route and stuff like that. I'm sure I could go faster than this, but like not significantly. So I guess the Night Elf starting zone is just a little bit slower because by the time we get to wow, the name of that town in there is just escaping me for some reason. Wow, I really can't remember. I've been in it hundreds of times. Just can't remember what its name is right now off the top of my head. Huh. That's really funny. I never would have. What is it? It's like. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know why I can't remember it. Dalinar, of course. Yep. Yeah. Dalinar. Yeah. Yes, Dalinar. Okay, so we need to kill a couple more things before we're level 6, but that's easy to do, and then we'll get to Dalinar, log off in the end there, and wrap up the episode. Yeah, this episode's been good. I think I've been, happy with how things have been going. Feels at the start of the episode, I'm like, how am I going to fill an hour of starting zone content? But then I always find things to talk about, either about the character itself or the challenge at large, that kind of stuff. So happy with how things are going here. And the next is going to be the last. The next episode is going to be the last of all the starting zones, so that'll be interesting, and then after that we'll be back to the warrior, which is the hardest of all the classes. So episode 9 is going to be really interesting because we'll be finally back to playing the warrior, the hardest one, and it'll be the first episode out of the starting zone. So real stakes, things could actually go down. Like, who knows? We legitimately could have the first death of the challenge in the 9th episode. I really hope that's not the case. I really don't want, the first of that to be, at level 7 or 8 or something like that. But, as a warrior, you just never know. You just simply never know as a warrior. Things can go wrong really fast, and you can play as safe as you want, and things might still go wrong for you. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It'll definitely be a fun episode, though. I'm sure it's gonna find some good quests to do, and make sure the stakes are nothing. I'm not just gonna go farm easy to kill things and do nothing but that. I'm gonna do the quests I can, and probably not go into any caves or anything crazy like that, because as a warrior, going into any caves early on seems like a really bad idea. So probably won't be doing anything like that, but it should still be a good time. And there's still plenty to do that isn't doing something super dangerous to make things interesting, and we can get professions on the way. Definitely. I wonder if I might, for all the classes, I want to get professions kind of right as soon as I can, to start getting those things going as soon as I can. So if depending on how much money I have and stuff like that, for each class, like sometimes for some of them, I'm depending on what I've bought in terms of weapons or extra things like that, or water, might not actually have the money to go get professions trained immediately. So, but if I can, I might just cut that out of the video, or at least speed up the video of that, of doing that, because doing that, making that like the first 10-15 minutes of each of the next episodes, like that's just like, you know, more of the same all the time. But I guess that's kind of just what this challenge is. It's just more of the same all the time, right? Like that's just kind of what it is going to be, and that's just part of the challenge, right? That's just part of what we're doing here. Is it's going to be a lot of repetitive stuff, but the challenge is doing that repetitive stuff over and over again, and without dying, and making it all the way. So maybe I will. I'll see what I end up doing on that front. Yeah, there's lots of decisions ahead of me in terms of how I'm gonna approach this challenge and approach this content in terms of delivering it to you guys. Like I'm like, you know, I'm gonna do this challenge. It's just matter of fact, a matter of I need to kill one more thing. I just assumed I was gonna level there. It's just a matter of actually like how I'm gonna deliver it to you, in what form I'm delivering it to you guys, and what am I gonna show to you guys. So that's kind of what I'm thinking there. Okay, we got to level 6. We're out of the starting zone. We're into the greater Teldrassil region. Which in lore, this region is actually a tree itself. You know, where all these trees around us. Like this island is technically supposed to be one big tree, but back when they made this 2004, the resources to make it like a tree itself weren't there. Like it's supposed to be like a tall tree, but it's actually like not. In this world, is kind of like more of a stump. But in reality, in the lore, it's supposed to be like a full-size tree, and the Night Elves are living in the branches of it. But I guess the technology just wasn't there to kind of build a zone like that back in the day. I'm sure if they built it now, it would be way cooler. I'm not sure why I'm killing this thing. It just started attacking me, and I just decided I wanted to kill it. But still a fun little zone. It's got some good quests. I got some fun things to do, so I'm pretty excited to do this zone a couple times, and then do Dark Shore a couple times on the Night Elf characters. The Night Elves are pretty split out, so it'll be nice, you know. It's mainly the gnomes and dwarf characters I'm kind of concerned about, because there's going to be 4 of them running concurrently, and that's a lot of Dunmorrow to do over and over again. The human and the Night Elf, like having 2 runs through those zones, split up by 4 days, like, yeah, that seems fine to me. Like, that's not that bad, but 4 runs through Dunmorrow, only split up by 1, you know, in between every time. I don't know. That's a lot. I'm not even gonna hand this in. I don't think I did that on any of my other characters. I'm gonna just quickly. Oak Shiz is gonna take a quick nap in this bed, and we're gonna come back to this at another day. Next episode, like I said, is gonna be the Warlock, the final episode in the starting zones for this challenge, or at least until someone dies, of the original characters. And so that'll be the next episode, and thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're here while joining me on Twitch, thank you so much for hanging out. But if you're watching on YouTube, please leave a comment with any feedback at all about anything I've talked about in terms of how I'm going to deliver you this content, anything about the channel in any way, anything about how my audio sounds or how the gameplay sounds or looks or anything like that. And would really appreciate that. And then, of course, if you're enjoying the challenge, or if you want to support me in any way, subscribing is a great way to do that. Really appreciate that a lot. And I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks so much.